And hello, and welcome to yet another exciting video about a ceramic technique. Today, what I want to talk to you about is signing your work, which is always a good idea, but takes on a special significance during this class because we're going to be accepting your work on these curbside drop-offs, and then we're going to bisque fire them. They're all going to be together, and then we're going to do some kind of glazing surface. We'll be talking about that later, and then you'll need to identify which one is yours. And while some of them, like the face jugs and the membranes pots, will be very unique and clearly identifiable as yours, the T-bowl may be harder to identify which one you made unless you have a clear signature. So I want to talk to you about signatures here. And so to start with, what we're going to do is look at some examples of signatures on pieces. Now, when I do T-bowls, I do oftentimes a simple signature, and you can see it right there. There's my signature. And I just make my name being Mark Lancet. I do an M and then a really exaggerated L shooting off, and that becomes kind of a design element in the bowl. Here's another example of that idea. Pretty clear to see here. A small M, very spontaneous. And I use a dull pencil, and then it shoots off to the end here to get a sense of the that kind of meteorite or shooting L part, ML. And that's what I do for the T-bowls. But a lot of times I will do something more clarified, formal. I'll use a stamp, what the Japanese call a hanko. It's quite easy to do. And here, this is a, let's see if I can even show this to you. It's kind of hard to see. I'll pull this back here. This is a platter, which was made accidentally when I had a flat tire and used a block of clay to hold my car in place as I changed the tire. And then I forgot it and ran over it and thought, oh, that's a nice platter. But it has a signature stamp, and you can see that right there. You see that ML. And that was made with something like this. These are examples of signature stamps. They're made out of a little piece of clay. You just take a little piece of clay, and you and small is better, and you just kind of pound it into shape, either square or round is usually, you could go for oval, whatever you're interested in. And then I'm taking this dull pencil again and writing, carving in my initials. Now, you'll notice that what I do here actually is I have to do them backwards. I have to write them backwards if I want them to come out in the clay in reading correctly. So I will show you that process here in a minute. Let me show you though, here is a beautiful bowl. This is a lovely bowl here. And this is by Joseph Bennion out of Utah, great, great artist. And when you get to, let's see if I can find it. Here's his signature stamp, which is lovely and elegant and simple, and at the same time he's using it, you can see in his placement here, he's using it right at the intersection of this horizontal line or shape going around the form, and then right in the center of one of these vertical facets. And so it becomes an emblem or almost a decoration for the piece. And then our own Kathy Kearns, here's a mug of hers, simple mug. And then her signature, Kathy Kearns, is a simple, let's see if I can get that there, a simple KK. Perhaps you can read that. 2 Ks very closely shadowing one and the other. That's her piece. And so you get a sense of how those work. And you can see that what you do is if you have a piece of clay here. Let's say this is your exquisite work of art. This is your brilliant piece of art. The last thing, one of the last things you might do is sign it. And you do that by pushing in your stamp. And you can see when you engrave a stamp with a pencil like this, what you can get is a raised expression of your signature. So that's what I like about it. I like that it's inset and then it pushes outward into your initials. So what we have in quick review here is we have this idea of either using a pencil and writing your signature directly on. And I know artists like our friend Rod Geyer, who writes his name right across the bottom of his piece, Geyer, all the way across the bottom. Or in my case, I'm doing this kind of initial slash here. You can also make these kinds of stamps. So that's the review a bit. The stamp, here's a little piece of clay that I haven't made the stamp yet for. And so I can start this way. And you can see I would initially just kind of line out with a pencil. If I make a mistake, I can just scrape it down and start again because it's all, this is leather hard clay. That makes it nicer. So I make the little shape, put it out in the sun for just a little bit, and then it's ready to go. So you can see here I have the L forming. And again, I'm working backwards. And that's important because we want to be able to read it after it's stamped out, it'll be facing forwards. And so that's what it starts to look at. I might go a little deeper, but you get the idea of how to start to make a stamp. Now you could make a pattern. You could do your own pattern. You could do some kind of symbol that's meaningful to you, as Joseph Bennion has done. Here's another example. You can make a little sculpture. The problem with these is they get a little big, and so the stamp might be too big, or it might be too awkward to get around, say, under a handle, but it's kind of fun sometimes to have. I've done them in house shapes. Here's a head shape, and this also makes a signature stamp here as I push this down, and you can see there's a signature right there. So this is about signatures, and the important thing is you have to sign all your work, and it has to be identifiable, clear, really available for us to see, so that we do not, at any point, we don't want to not know which piece is yours. So please remember, sign your work. You can make a stamp, those are fun, or you can just get a dull pencil and write your name in it. Great, and that's all for today.